And welcome live to the LV Home Experts Radio Show every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is the only real estate show out here in Las Vegas taking live calls and also your comments. And this is where we'll talk about financing. That's right. So today, we got a lot to talk about. The market has completely shifted 180 degrees. Unbelievable. Okay. So today I got my special guest, my right-hand man, Joey. What's up, Joey? How's everything going?
What's up, Chakits? Oh, you know the deal.
I know it's been a while since I brought you back on the show. I know you've been very busy, but
thanks for having me back.
Yeah, definitely got to get you back on. I mean, you're a good-looking dude. All the ladies love you. All the guys want to be like you, and you're closing deals.
Whitest teeth in the room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the myth, the legend, the root of all evils, the one and only, Dan French. What's up, my man?
Dude, I'm like the root of all evil.
Yo, you're a lender. You're a lender, bro.
It's like, you want money? Come to the dark side.
Come hither.
Dude, I'm going to tell you. I've been doing this now for going on 11 years. This is the most craziest market. We've been having problems at the median price point for about $425, all right? But believe it or not, we currently are now breaking records over 2008, higher than it's ever been. The median price point now is at $435,000. Okay. I am having a lot of challenges. Okay. And what I mean by that is I even have buyers right now that I'm taking out. Matter of fact, today, $800,000. Properties come up on the market, do not show. Right? Some of them, they want you to submit an offer, contingency, right, upon inspection. Mm-hmm. And some of them, well, I'm going to say probably like 40% of them now, they want to do a lease back.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like, not a short one either.
Yeah, exactly.
I have ones that
60 days minimum.
Pushing into July, and I'm like what the heck?
Dude.
It's just like, hey, can I rent my house out for a year after I sell?
Yeah.
Check this out. So I had a client flying in on Tuesday, right? And I started showing them properties, and the list that they have, right, gone. We had to reset their search today. We had to compromise. We had to bring a couple of these things down, right? Yeah. As far as like square footage. We had them popped up today. Now we're going out. Now we looked at like 8 today, and we're running around like crazy. This is how crazy the market is. And I just posted this up on Instagram, so you guys can check us out on my story on the Instagram. Follow us on that too as well. We're about to hit almost 6,000 followers. And TikTok, we just reached 1,000. So check us out. Anyway, I went to a property, and I showed them this beautiful home in Legacy Estates. We looked at the home. Another client called me up and said, I like it. So basically, I'm showing my clients around that's from out of town. And I said, hey, we got to make one quick pit stop. Where are we going? We're going to go back to the property that we looked at earlier today. Why? Here's the thing. I got to show this client that property. So I have my clients in the car, right? I have another client. We met at the property. I'm showing them the property. I have another agent waiting outside, right, for us to be done. I look down the road. There's another agent waiting on that agent. And this home is at $800,000. and it needs work.
And your clients are sitting in the car and they're like, what the heck is going on, man?
But they were cool enough where, you know how like you build rapport with clients, you can have fun. This is one of those clients where it's like, we just hanging out today. Mm-hmm. So they were cool with it. So they understood what was going on.
You don't really have to express like a sense of urgency. I mean, they see it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was just very fascinating. And this has never happened before. I'm literally double clutching everything, right? I'm doing everything. And I got the new assistant, York. He's in the car, setting up appointments, taking the calls. And we just talked about this. You've got so many leads that are coming in that we have to turn you off. Matter of fact, he came back. Well, you didn't even go on vacation. He was supposed to go on a semi-vacation, but he was chilling. Anyway, I dumped a bunch of leads on him. And basically today he's like, yo, turn me off already.
It's like, it's overwhelming.
Yeah. And the leads that we're getting is just not your regular leads. These are like leads people are calling on the phone. Like, get me something.
Yeah.
Right? So today, I really want to talk about what's really going on with this housing market because I've never seen anything like this. This is good for me. But it's also a curse too as well. And the reason why is because if you're at the $500,000 range and you're not paying your own closing costs and you're not writing a clean offer, you're going to run into some challenges.
Major challenges.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, you're looking at 500,000, you're looking at your closing costs and your down payment, but you need to have another source of cash. Like you need to have another savings to where you can dip into, to where you can pay an additional 10, 15, 20,000 above appraised value, because everybody who's submitting offers is doing it that way.
Yeah.
You know, they're coming in strong, they're sweetening the deal, or maybe even doing that free lease back.
Okay. And I think on today's topic, based upon what's going on into the housing market, I think we need to talk about what you can do to set yourself apart as an agent to help out that buyer, or what can that buyer actually do, right? So let's really dive deep and let's see what really goes on, right, when you submit an offer. So number one, it really comes down to financing. You got to start from there, because what I notice is that the agents and myself, when we have a listing, I want to know who that buyer is and their financial situation. So what I've found to really help me out is, number one, is to prepare your buyer, get them set up with the right lender, like Dan. So you guys should be calling him. Link in the description below. Visit lvhomesexperts.com, right? Hit that financing button, fill out your loan application. So number one, you shouldn't even be looking at homes until you actually get financed, because there's no sense, because you don't even know where you stand, right, in today's market. So now, once you get financed, there are 4 type of approvals. You got pre-qual, pre-approval, conditional approval, underwritten approval, okay, in that order. You will never get the underwritten approval. The conditional approval basically says, look, the lender has really looked at your situation, sent you through a system, and it says that you are fully approved. And they also probably had the underwriter to take a look at it, right? Because you want to double check.
Yeah, junior underwriter.
Okay. Kind of explain that process.
No, I mean, they just take everything, and to be thorough, you have somebody else look at it. Like, for instance, Joey's got a deal, big deal, and I've already conditioned an underwriter to take a look at what that extra layer is, because it's something we have to address, and that's the importance of it.
Now, why would you do that? All right, why would a lender? Because not all lenders do this, where they have a buyer's file sent over to the underwriter or a junior underwriter to look at it.
I think it comes down to, you guys have so much business coming in, that you have to flip flop. Like, some people will just be like, I'm happy to get a deal. Yeah. Right. Just give me leads or whatever. Your situation is time's money. Yeah. I don't want to be affecting your time or my time. So I think it's just about being efficient and not affecting time. The last thing you want to do is go out, make an offer, and then Joey's like, what do you mean? We have a problem in underwriting and they're not approved? Great. You know, and now you just wasted your time making an offer. You wasted your time taking them out. Gas money. I mean, all these things.
Yeah. Well, it's not wasting our time. That's part of it, but that's not the reason why we do it. The reason why you want to be fully approved is because, number one, you want to make sure you're a strong buyer, and you want to know the position you're in, and you want to know exactly how much you got to come to the table with, right? Your closing costs, right? And you don't want to go to the table and you find out that, oh, wow, this is more money than I expected, right? So 4 different type of approvals. You want to at least have a condition approval. When it says condition approval, it just tells you, or that listing agent, that seller, you're approved based upon these conditions. Yeah. What are the conditions? Because I want to know what those conditions are as a seller, right? The least amount of conditions that you have, the better it is, okay? Now, the other thing that I like to do is when I submit my offer now, because I know my buyer, right, depending on the type of buyer, on the financing side, FHA, VA, conventional, right? Believe it or not, if you're a VA buyer, you're going to have a hard time. Why?
Yeah, very difficult time. Well, one, you're not putting any money down. So you have no skin in the game. So you have your closing costs, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Right? And then also, the VA appraisers are a little more strict in their appraisals than a conventional appraisal. So I don't know, you have different guidelines. You have to get a termite inspection. The seller has to pay the termite inspection. So they're looking at that as a cost out of pocket. Yeah. But you know, you tend to get a lot of. Can you hear my mic?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay.
Can you not hear us?
No, it's kind of screen.
Is it low on your side?
So with the that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the VA appraiser, they have different guidelines, different conditions that they have to meet. You have to get that termite inspection. Also, the seller has to pay, like I said. But we just had one or two deals. We were in Tidewater where the value didn't come in.
Oh crap!
Yeah. So what that means is that then we have to provide comps to support our purchase price or a sale price. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you can't just go off and order another appraisal if that one doesn't stick, like the situation that I'm in right now. So that appraiser sticks to my client's file.
Yeah.
So she has to switch to a conventional, or she has to cancel.
So what's happening right now is when you do an appraisal, especially on VA, that property there's going to be attachment to that property for the next 90 days. So that does suck for the seller. However, if the seller's willing to wait it out, they'll probably end up getting another offer that somebody's willing and able and willing to pay that price.
And in this market, the seller is telling my client, like, look, it's either you can figure out the difference, which is about a $15,000 difference. And at this point, she just doesn't have the money. So now she's in a situation to where she needs to find the money, or we have to cancel because they already have backup offers that are higher than our offer. So
would you promote somebody just to go buy new at that point? If you wanted to use your VA, look, I understand, because you're getting now incentives. Maybe that's a better shot. I mean, I'm not saying, but if you're a VA buyer out there and you're going existing and you're competing, maybe that's a better shot, right?
Yeah, but it's also the price point, right? So like we're looking at $356,000. So it's a very, very tough price point.
I don't even know where is there.
It doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Why would sellers not accept VA in today's market? Is it just because of the appraisal and stuff like that? Is that where the challenge is for VA buyers and FHA buyers?
In my opinion, my experience, yes. And I think it's just more of like the guidelines that they have to jump through.
Yeah. So if that was the case, right? If you're a VA buyer or even a FHA buyer and you're putting down only 3.5%, why not switch over to conventional and do the 3%?
I want to say something about that part of it. I think it's a misconception again.
Yeah. What is it?
I mean, look, VA is like some of the most qualified people out there.
They
got the best credit. They went to the military. They got some type of structure. You know how it is with military. Yeah. People are like, hey, you get your ducks in a row. You got to get your credit. I think the selling agents are giving misinformation.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That this is not, that this is what's happening with the financing. That's not true. It's really about if you set up the file properly, you get your appraisal done up front. We know it takes longer. We had a VA buyer. They came out of pocket and went Tidewater, but they still got the deal.
Yeah.
Closed it. I mean, the thing is that people have to think that just because you got an option to put no money down, that doesn't mean you don't have any money.
That's true.
There's a lot of people that have 100, 200,000, like our clients,
and taking advantage. Now, here's the thing. What I noticed is this. What you can do to get your offer accepted if you're a VA buyer and you got the money, when you submit your offer, the first thing you're going to do is have a strong approval letter with Dan, right? That conditional approval. Number 2 is have your bank statement. Send it on over with your bank statement, letting them know that, we got money. We're just taking advantage of this loan program because I serve my country, right?
I think it has to start with the culture or the process, though, like at the beginning. Like it's not necessarily like we're not doing our part. I think the VA buyers, they do have money, right? It's just the seller agent and the seller's like, well,
they want an easy transaction.
They're putting 20% down. They're a better buyer. That's not true.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
That's not true at all.
And I don't want to think that I'm making that point on that side.
No. I'm just saying selling agents, though, they got to start and say, look, you can't just say push out FHA, push out VA. Give everybody a shot. The VA buyer we had went, 20, 30,000 above?
Above, yeah.
And they had more assets to deal with.
But let's get real here. If somebody came to me, FHA, VA, or conventional, cash, I'm going with cash first. Why? Because of the guidelines.
What about the highest deal, though? What if you're making the highest profit margin? You're not going to go cash usually. Let's say cash.
Well, it is. I'm just talking about if we just look at this, right, as a whole, right? And this is statistics. It shows it right here in the MLS. It's cash is king, right? If you submit a fair offer across the board, cash versus conventional, right? FHA and VA. That's basically the order. I mean, it is what it is.
I just think they chopped the last two off. I understand why cash is there. Like if I was selling my house, I would want the highest amount. I would say, look, if you're giving me a loan and I'm going to get this much, I'm not in a hurry. But if you're saying I want to get out of this house, or you know what, I got a certain margin I want to hit, and somebody came in with cash and just said, dude, I'm going to give it to you. course. Yeah. Who's not going to want to just say, hey, get the deal done, you know?
And you know, I have to say this because we had a listing that I sold. It was cash, and it was like done deal. You know, it was 15,000 above the other offers, but they still had a right to inspect. Right, we get my client into a contract on a new home, conditioned, right, or a contingency, but it was a short close, it was 14-day close on the cash deal. They came back, and they were like, "Hey, listen, you know what? It needs this repair, it needs that repair, it needs this repair." My client was already in a position to where he needed a sign to release himself from the contingency.
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't necessarily get the highest and best offer at that point because my client agreed just to sign off on the request for repairs, which went back a few $1,000s.
It comes down to what the seller's motivation is, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
It's case by case, you know, and like the cash offer isn't always the best, right? Yeah. Because they use it as leverage to try to like strong arm themselves into getting deals. You know,
I understand why they would, you know, but I just think that for whatever reason, those last two, now FHA is tough because of the county limit. VA, though, I should have a strong consideration. It should be in that conversation.
The appraisal, you do have issues with the appraisal. They're more conservative than versus conventional. That's just the bottom line.
They are. I'm not going to disagree with that. But I think that, too, like, you know, it would take, if let's say you had something wrong with the house, then yes, as a seller, I'm going to say just cash or conventional, right? And there's a reason for that. But if you go cash, conventional, FHA, VA, and you're putting this on the MLS and the agent comment, well, give them a fair shot. You know, it doesn't mean you got to take.
Well, I mean, look, rules are rules, but the bottom line is let's look at it as a whole. If you're a VA buyer, it's going to be more challenging. There's no way around it. It is what it is, because that's what's going on in today's market, right? Even though it's easier to close, and look, I love VA buyers because the deal is actually really easy because once you approve, you don't really have problems with the financing side.
No.
Right?
It's usually the property.
Exactly.
Usually.
But it's also what's going on in today's market. It's the environment. That's basically what it comes down to.
Easy money, and people's mindset have shifted to, I'm just going to do this. You got sellers not answering their phone when you're making offers.
That happens a lot in today's market.
And it's like easiest path of resistance. Like I'm just going to take whatever's easy and just buy. And I just say, look, FHA. I'm not saying it's good, but give VA buyers a chance. A lot of them are great. If I get a call from a selling agent, says, hey, how good's this client? They're VA. I'm like, they're VA, right? It's the best loan program in my opinion out there. I know I'm a lender. I could be a little biased, but a lot of them have assets. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, they got tons of assets, you know, because that's not what you do. You don't tell a selling agent that, but they're like, hey, can you go above? I just say, hey, you know what? They got things, they can do what they need to do, and we'll leave it at that. You know?
I think the best thing to do when you're submitting these offers is to actually go through and get that conditional loan approval and submit it with the offer.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Because you're just one step closer to getting that underwritten approval.
I just wish selling agents would be open up a little bit more with the VA side of it.
Now, for me, like I said, I always send it on over the approval, the purchase agreement, and also my buyer's financial situation. But obviously, we cross out the account number. I feel like that helps and gives me that extra leverage, so that way they know exactly who they are dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
I think the leverage too, and you maybe can think about this too, Joey, is that when you have, so if somebody called me, was like, hey, how much assets do these people have, your clients that they're approved? I'm not going to say, well, you got $100,000. They're like, okay, well, you know, something happens, they're coming above.
Right.
I got these people, you know, that you want to keep them guessing. You could just say, hey, they're qualified. You know, they have assets, they got things to take care of. I don't know. To me, I try to kind of keep that as a fine line. I don't try to, you know, because they do. Agents call and say, hey, Dan, how far are they? You know, how good are they? What's their credit look like? Can you send me over how much they're putting down, and do they have assets, and is their credit above this? And it's like, look, you know, I'm going to just say this. They're approved. They're solid people. I'm not going to push you through it. And,
yeah.
You know.
So let's look at this, what's going on in the marketplace. So in the last 7 days, right, when we look at the financing considerations and the terms that have actually closed, and what I mean by that is it a cash buyer, FHA buyer, VA buyer, right? So if we take a look at this, last 7 days, 432 homes, right? 7 days close. 26% of them are cash buyers. 56% of them are conventional buyers, and I'm sure it's probably at 3 or 5% down, okay? 7% is FHA buyers. VA is 10%.
See that?
So the question here is that the reason why 10% is hot, 10% of the VA buyers that are beating out FHA, the reason why is number one is because it's easier to close, right? The guidelines as far as the price point is a lot greater than FHA because FHA, what's the minimum for this county guidelines? So
it's really county limit.
Yeah.
And I think also too, you look at, if somebody's buying a house, the average median price for a home is what? 420?
No, 435 now.
435. Yeah. So, I mean, they can go to $1 million, right? In cases if it's not concurrent. I think that too, when you look at a lot of opportunity that FHA doesn't have, and we always tell you this, is that the struggle they've always had is they don't increase the county limit to mirror what the actual price of that. Like, think about it. You're at 435. That's barely hitting the mark of where FHA's at now. Just barely.
Right.
Right. And so if you're saying, well, if you want to go buy a new home, that's what, $550? What is the starting price point of a brand new home?
About $550.
About $550,
That's like entry level, basically.
Yeah.
So they're just like if they don't do this, if they don't increase that limit, FHA is
they're
gone.
done.
Okay.
They're just
completely gone.
Now here's the fascinating part. Conventional is 56% of the market because probably majority of that is going to be 3%, 5%, and 10% down. So if we look at that demographics, you have the 3% down, right? First-time home buyers, and then you have the 5% first-time home buyers as well. But then you have 10% as far as secondary homes. So I think that's the reason why you have a lot of that is towards, conventional financing, right? Now, if we look at cash buyers, is only 26% of the market. So what this also tells you is that just because you're paying cash doesn't mean that you're always going to get the deal.
Yeah.
So what this tells me is how you write up the contract. That's very important. That's like one of the key elements in today's market. You can submit more money, but if somebody's willing to let you lease back the property, right, for 30, 60, 90 days.
So here's my question is why sell your house I understand, or why not just wait 6 months or 8 months and sell your house then?
Because some people have that contingency with the home builder.
Yeah.
Like my client did.
I mean, let's say you have a house.
It's like, where are they going to go? I mean, where are you going to go?
That's what I'm saying. So look, if I'm selling my house, we know that you buy a home and you're in, let's say, a new home. You had appreciation in your house.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just say, you know what? I'm not going to try to write it as a lease back, and I'm just going to don't even put the house on the market until 8 months and just let it keep going.
Because they don't want to have to worry about that, because if they wait till the end, now they're going to be in a position where now the buyer has control. So if I was representing the seller, it would make sense that my homes are going to close in the next probably like 90 days. I can already throw in the market. I already know I'm going to get an offer. Now, it's going to take me probably about 30 days to close this deal. Also, I want to have some time to move into my next home. So I'm willing to possibly to give up $3,000 on this deal because this guy's willing to accommodate what I'm looking to do.
Yeah. Is it a lot of it though where it's concurrent, where they're selling the house and moving right into another house? Like, do they already? Is that what you're seeing? Where
yes.
Typically. But you also have to think, if they wait until the last minute to sell their home and that buyer falls out for whatever reason, their deal falls through, then you're holding the bag and you have to start that process all over again.
And not only that, they may have to pay a per diem on their brand new home that they're buying, or they may also just lose everything in a whole. So you got to kind of time it right too as well. So guys, if you guys have a property out there you guys want to sell, understand that we also sell properties too as well. Give us a call. We'll definitely help you and walk you through that process. So
I agree.
Okay, why is this so quiet? I was like, I agree.
I thought you were going to sell listings.
We're selling everything.
No, I mean, look, though, at the end of the day, it's a tough market. And I get why people lease back. I do. Yeah. I mean, but I just feel that it doesn't, like, it's one of those things, like, why would I want to buy a house, and this is just my opinion, and wait 6 months before I can move in? I understand, like, I'm writing the offer, or why wouldn't I just, keep searching? Because I don't know. To me, like, if I'm sitting there, it's like going out and buying something at the store. You're putting it on layaway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but put it back there and you can go get it later in 6 or 8 months. And then I'll put a down payment now. And then, we'll pay it as it goes. Yeah. And then hopefully I can get my house in 6 or 8 months.
But you have to think, I mean, this market's so crazy right now. Our inventory is what we have, like 3,400 homes on the market.
Yeah, it's very low.
So when you're out here and you're home shopping and you're from California or from another state and you find something that checks all the boxes, and you're like, we have to make a move on it now. but you're not ready to make a move physically to Las Vegas, those situations align. You know, it works out for both parties.
Yeah. Well, and they have to pay rent back to them, right?
Yeah, so they're typically paying their mortgage. Or, I mean, in some cases, we're writing offers to where we're offering a 30 or 60-day lease back for free.
You know what's crazy is...
For free?
Yeah, just letting them occupy the property.
For 60 days for free?
Yeah, for 60 days.
That's what that's how we're doing it. Just to make it sweet. Now, here's the thing. Condos, manufactured homes, single-family residence, detached, and townhomes. There's only less than 25 homes currently available. 25.
On townhomes?
On everything. Every single sector out there, 25. Single family residence, only 2,000. Even like condos, like I just recently bought a condo, about to buy another one. Those things are just jumping up like crazy. Everything is just getting so expensive.
We did, I mean, you talked about it. Condo. There was a deal that I have going on, not with the team, but condo that they put, I think, 20-something offers in. And they waived the appraisal contingency. We talked about this numerous times. And they're 40,000 above, I think, on the price.
40,000 above the condo.
And I was like, okay, so no appraisal contingency, you went 40 above, and there's like, well, it's in a really good area, right? And it's like, okay, well, I can understand, but man, 40? You know what I mean? 40?
They're like, listen, we submitted 20 offers. We got to get something.
That's just another level to me.
I know. And that's becoming the norm, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you have to expect when you're trying to purchase a home here in Las Vegas.
So guys, basically what we learned here so far is that when you submit an offer in today's market, it really comes down to your lender doing your homework up front. You at least want to get a conditional approval, right? Number 2 is when you submit your offer, you probably want to submit it over with your bank statement, cross out your account number, so that way the seller knows that you are a strong buyer and that you can actually come out of pocket. Number 3 is to actually have your lender contact that listing agent once your offer is actually submitted. Okay. Number 4 is very important. The terms and the agreement to your contract. So the only way to figure this out is that you really got to work with agents that are seasoned, not part-time, right? Part-time, right? That's not going to work. You need agents that know exactly what they're doing because they understand the customary practices in today's market and what they can do to get your offer accepted. Who pays what? So now the question is, what else can we do, right, for a buyer to get their offer accepted, just to make it just that much sweeter?
We can do they have the HOA docs, the resale package. You can pay for that. Typically, it's around $400, $450.
Okay.
So you can take that burden off the seller.
Okay.
Man, it just seems like the sellers just got all the cards.
Man,
they do.
It's like, pay for this, pay for that, pay for my appraisal.
Yeah.
Give me a $500 gift card.
Like, no, that ain't gonna work.
Anything you got.
Write it in.
So if somebody does not have enough money to pay for their closing costs in today's market, and they are at the price point of $450 and below, what would you actually tell them?
Well, can't they pay for they wrap their closing costs in the purchase price?
What buyer are we talking about? Conventional, FHA, or
this is a good point. Let's start off with VA. Can we do that?
No. Nobody can.
FHA, can we do that?
No.
Conventional?
No.
Cash?
Of course. All day long. You trying to get me.
Yeah, exactly. So we can't even roll it over where you actually increase the interest rates?
Yeah, not on a purchase. Now, what you can do and what builders do, and I don't know why I do that, but builders put costs added in on a rebate, so it's built into the rate. People are like, oh, my rate's this, but I'm getting $9,000. Yeah, but they're building it into a higher rate, and that's how you get the credit back. That's the same with VA buyers. You can technically do a no-cost loan for a VA buyer, but you're raising the interest rate. Hopefully the market will, be sufficient enough to give them that 3%. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you raise it so high, it's only like, it's off-sheet pricing. You might only get 1.5. So, yeah.
Now, one of the techniques that you can do is that you can ask for closing costs from the seller, but also raise the price. But there are a few challenges that you will run across, and we used to do this all the time. you know, when the market was not as hot, you know, the problem is the property going to appraise? So that's one of the challenges. But I always see now that a lot of buyers are coming to the point where they are willing to waive the appraisal. Now, would you ever advise to waive the appraisal?
Not unless I really did some homework and really dove in and just kind of like, I mean, really looked at the comps.
Yeah.
You know, and right now, I mean, the comps are all over the place just because the prices are going, you know, 25,000, 30,000 above, you know, but I would never really recommend it unless we were 110% sure.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that
or sorry to cut you off, or if they had the financial means to actually make up the difference, that's the only time.
Now, one way to cover your butt, and I normally write this into the contract, where I know that my client is willing to come up $20,000 above the appraisal. We normally have language in the contract stating that my buyer is willing to pay $20,000 above the appraised value, but not to exceed this purchase price. So what that really does is it gives the confidence to the seller, letting them know if it doesn't appraise based upon what you want, I will come out of pocket the remaining balance.
Yeah. But it protects two parties.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation.
Right.
But now that tends not to work anymore. Now it's basically waive all your rights.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Give me your money. This is like a hostage situation.
It's like, you know like it's like when somebody wants to recruit and let's say that's in sports, whatever it is, and they're like, all right, what do you want to come over here? You know, like, what do you want for this house? You know, you got to give me what you got. Give me your biggest, what do you say, Chuck? Your biggest and best? What is it? Offer? Highest and best. Give me your highest and best, and I don't want to talk to you. Just send me by email. I'll let you know if you made the cut.
Now, this is what I always tell my clients. If you're not willing to go your highest and best on this property, we're not even writing an offer, right? If you're just buying this property because you're like, if we get it, we get it. No. Then you're buying for the wrong reasons. We should be buying a property where you look at it and you're like, dude, I want this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go all in.
But, you know, to piggyback off the above appraised value.
Yeah.
So, and I've done this on many of deals recently to where, you know, we're 25 or 30,000 above appraised value. It doesn't mean that you're going to actually pay $25,000 or $30,000 extra. You're just saying that if it came in lower, that's your cap. So it could be 10,000, it could be 8,000, whoever the number is, but you're just letting the seller know what you're prepared to do.
And you know what? I think you need to elaborate on that, kind of give examples, because I think that's good information. So give me a scenario.
So if, let's just use a round number of a house that's 500,000.
Okay.
Right. And the appraisal, you say, okay, I'm going to give you 25,000.
Well, let's start off. What is the asking price? 500, you say?
500,000. Okay. Then you offer 25,000 above appraised value, not to exceed 525.
Okay.
Okay. The appraisal comes back at, you know, 490.
Okay.
You're only coming out of pocket 10,000.
Correct.
Right. So so it's a floating number. If it came back at 475, you're going to pay the 25,000 out of pocket, and it's not going to exceed 500,000 purchase price. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So basically, you're only coming out of pocket. Worst case scenario is 20,000, but if it appraises for the full amount, then you don't have to come out the additional 20,000
because not to exceed.
Correct.
Very important to include.
So when an offer is written like that with your agent, I would highly suggest that you do this, and I do this all the time, right? First, it's, are you willing to pay above the appraisal? Yes, I am. Okay. If it is at 20,000, the best thing that you can do to help your client out is actually go out to the property when the appraisal is going to be conducted and try to get that thing to appraise at the 425. So that way your client actually comes out less out of pocket, right? Because that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So that
you're giving them a limit is really what you're giving them a barometer that says, we're not going to just let you take advantage of the whole situation. You're already getting the extra, but I'm not going to say, hey, it's free for all.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, we're stopping here.
Damn it.
Hi, this is Chakits.
Uh-oh. Why do I always do this, man? I got to turn this damn phone off. Here's another call.
This is Chakits.
I should just answer the call. Hello, how can we help you?
Hello, this is Chakits.
We should take the call scenario. Find out what their scenario is. Hey, guys, you guys are also on the radio. Sorry about that. wonder if you can get in trouble with that.
It's like, where are you trying to get into? Mm-hmm. And then they start spilling it. Whoa, we got to cut that off.
Also, the other thing, guys, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out our YouTube channel, the second page, Chakits 2.0, if you guys just love real estate, we release videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and also on Fridays at 2 p.m. And it has to do with everything real estate, lifestyle, real estate, and Las Vegas. Also, don't forget to check us out on Instagram, on our what is it, all social media platforms. Yeah, what is that? Instagram, Twitter. What else do we got? TikTok. Am I missing one more?
LinkedIn,
Twitch.
Yeah. Oh, everything. Yeah, I'm twitching right now. Anyway.
Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat, Slapchat. And don't forget to visit lvhomeexperts.com. It's really a great website to get started. If you're looking for brand new homes, resale homes, I mean, it's all there. It's a one-shop stop if you want to check out Dan French too as well. Stop shop, whatever's. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
One-stop shop?
Yeah, stop shop. One-stop shop. Chop shop.
For the chopper.
So is there any other tips or techniques out there based upon what is going on that we can help out the viewers?
I had an interesting situation with my VA buyer.
Okay.
Right? I went to bat super strong with her. I mean, I was like fighting for this property for her because we've submitted probably 15 offers. And I had a conversation with the listing agent, and this was a flip. It was an investment property. And I told him, I said, look, before you select another offer, before you even look at one, please just let me know if we have an opportunity to get this house under contract.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, your offer is pretty good, but I have higher offers. I said, you know what? If you're telling me we have an opportunity, let me go out and do the inspection before you even execute the contract. Before you entertain another one, I'll do the inspection. I'll make sure everything is good. And if we give you the green light, will you give me the opportunity rather than putting you under contract, waiting the 10 or 14 days for someone to do the inspection, come back to you, ask for a bunch of repairs or cancel.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you're willing to do that, I'll give you the first opportunity. So we went out, inspection next day. Everything looked good. Very minor repairs, thank God, and put it under contract.
There you go.
It was the first time I ever did that.
Where you got the inspection, ahead of time?
Got the inspection ahead of time before we even executed the contract.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a plus. I do. I think that if you're selling the house, right?
No, it was my buyer. It was
your buyer.
Yeah.
I think. This is Chakits.
This is nonstop, man. I'm telling you guys, this is for real.
You're a popular guy over there, man.
No, I'm calling myself actually, making myself look good.
Guys, keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking.
Hello,
I'm
this
calling
is
myself.
Chakits.
So we got a question here. Joey, is the market on a new home build? Are you able to get any discounts on the lot in the base price or options today?
Unfortunately not. Yeah, they are pretty firm. They don't reduce their base prices or give any incentives on the home sites.
No, but you have relationships. Is there a situation where if you take enough volume to a specific, and you can correct me, I don't know. They start to say, hey, you know what? You gave us this amount of deals. Can this work out? Can we get the discount?
I mean, what I've noticed now, you can get some sort of discount if you do use the builder's lender. Okay.
I see.
Sometimes it's only a point, right? And also, it really depends. If it's standing inventory, yes. I mean, there's really not too much standing inventory out there anymore. But before, the answer was yes.
Yeah.
Now, it's really no.
Yeah, in this current market, no. Now there is a home builder out here right now that is, for the month of February, they're giving an incentive on window coverings, washer, dryer, and refrigerator, I believe.
Well, look, we're talking a lot about where the market's at. And we're not going to sugarcoat it, right? We're going to be like, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
This is flat out. Now, it does seem a little bit like, hey, guys, unfortunately, you're just tapped out.
Yeah.
But is there some things that a buyer can come from this conversation that gives them hope, that makes them think, you know what, I can probably get into this thing? Because I don't want to discourage people from, just saying, hey, we're not doing anything. It's just, look, this is the reality. But do they have an opportunity even if they have the 5-10% down? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's always opportunity. And I tell you, like the situation I just explained with my VA buyer, what I did. I mean, we're constantly going to bat for our clients. We're constantly looking for the deals. And we do so much volume around this city that these new home build representatives are sending us information before the communities are even released. The lots are even released. They tell us what to expect as far as lot premium. So for new homes, you know, we're still figuring our way out, right? But you know, in resales, it's just this is where we're at. You know,
no, you make a good point, because I literally got an email the other day from Dave from Craig Ranch. He's like, "Yo, I've got these homes that are being released. Let me know what you think if you got clients." So basically, I contacted a client. Boom, we're currently going under contract on it. So you do build those relationships, and what happens is we try to keep the deals together. Do you see what I'm saying? Because as a sales rep, what they do is they get paid on the deal, but also it makes them look good when they do more transactions for their company. So it's like Lennar, I have one guy. You know, if I go to Pulte, I got one guy. You know what I mean? Because they do cross-sellings too as well when it comes to standing inventory. So that does help a lot. But, you know, like I mentioned that, you know, there are certain things that you can do to get your offer accepted. And we talked about this, being approved, getting educated, knowing what's going on, sending over your bank statement, having your lender call the listing agent, right? The terms of the contract. And here's another good one. You brought a good point, is that you got to work with somebody that's hungry,
right?
That's very aggressive. And what I mean by that is, because you're not getting your offer accepted, right? You got to get out there, keep pounding the pavement. But if your agent is not willing to do that, sometimes you may have to write 15 offers. I think you wrote like 20 offers, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was like, man, let that guy go already. We can't get it done.
I'm determined. I'm going to get him a house.
But you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what's going to happen with that, though? Is people are going to see that. And they're going to say, you know what? You worked this hard. I got a friend that's coming out 550, 700.
Exactly.
Easier deal. Like, I know you took the time, but I also want to say that people that are under that 420 mark, you can't give up. Like, there is options, and I'm going to say this, is that if you want to get somebody else on a loan, which is common now, maybe you add somebody onto a loan. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're trying to get into a house, I mean, unfortunately, you may not find a house south of 420. Yeah. So get a co-buyer on there, because now you might be at that 550 mark. You might get into a new house. Might be a business transaction where, guess what, in 2, 3, 4 years, you know, you get that person off the title, off the loan, cash, you know, refinance. Yeah. And now at least you set yourself up now versus waiting another year or two.
We have a comment here. It does state that, well, one of the questions says that this can't go on forever. What goes up must come down. It's just economics. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this thing is going to tank. What do you think?
You know, something catastrophic has to happen. There are just too many buyers and not enough inventory. It goes back to simple economics of supply and demand. Interest rates are supposed to go up, 4 times this year? They say first time in March.
Ooh, how's that going to impact everything?
You know?
Well, I think it's going to slow down.
Do you think people are rushing to hurry up and buy a home?
They are.
Or are they just kind of sitting and waiting? Because, look, if you buy a new home, you're not going to lock in your rate right now.
Well, that's why I think the resale market's so crazy right now, and everyone's just throwing offers because they're afraid of those rate hikes. Because as these home prices increase, then that rate goes up, less home they can afford.
Well, I mean, a quarter of a point. I mean, how much more is your monthly payment? Not that much more.
Well,
I mean, you may lose a little bit of purchasing power, but I mean, how much more?
I think there's a combination of things. That's a very loaded question.
Yeah, it's a broad question. Yeah,
because you got a lot of layers that you got to consider. I do think that we can't really. None of us here are economic majors, right? We are not economists that look at the market and we're like, all right, this is going to come down someday, and we know it's this, and you know we're looking at demographics. It's just, if something does happen, I think it's going to happen globally, and it might not even be something here in the United States. It might be somewhere outside the country because we're all connected. And I think if it does happen, it could be something that it hits like a tidal wave where we don't see it. So could the opportunity be there? Yeah, sure. I think consumer confidence right now, we've had pandemic, we've had all kinds of things going on. Our economy was shut down. People are struggling to get back to work. Same time, people are buying homes.
Yeah.
So the confidence is there, and I think that, yes, could it come down? Sure. Could rates go up? Yes, but I don't think they're going to go up as much as people think, because I don't think the economy can actually sustain it. they're going to be raising the Fed's fund rate, which is going to be the short-term bond, which is going to affect student loans, car loans, credit cards, things like that. That's going to be less money that people can spend. So will it overall affect us? Sure. But is it going to, when is that number or that time, is it going to be where it's so bad, inflation's so bad, we can't afford to live like we used to because things are so much higher?
And that
when are we going to retract?
That could be the driving factor for a lot of people as well. You know,
so
the value of the dollar's going down, things are going up, the inflation, and people are like, well, if we wait another year, we'll definitely be priced out of the market.
But the consumer confidence is there. And listen, until you get a hint that this thing's been cracked, people are like, wait a second.
It will once it gets to the point where they're like, I can't afford a home.
That's when I think you're going to see a
So,
difference.
I mean, the question now is, are we there yet?
No.
Okay. Now, on the flip side of the coin, on the selling side, we had a client that came in yesterday. She wanted to sell her home to purchase another home. She has about $125,000 in equity. All right, she's gonna have to sell that home in order to take that money to put down on another home. Unfortunately, what she wants doesn't exist because she still wants a lower payment. But even though that she's got the equity, it makes no sense. So it's basically she's kind of stuck in that home. So that got me thinking. There's a lot of people in that situation, like myself, right? So how many people are out there? Same situation, and that's what's also suppressing this market, and that's the truth.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what do you think about that, Joey?
I don't think Chakits is in that situation.
No, I'm Asian. That's what that shit is.
Cheap.
No, I'm just cheap. But no, I mean, serious. Like, what's happening now is that sellers are starting to realize that, and this goes for me. I just took some of my money, and I'm not talking about like, money from the house. I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to start doing my backyard. I'm going to do some things around the house, just make it to the way I want. But that's what I'm starting to see now because she literally brought this up. She's like, okay, I can't really do nothing. I can't really buy nothing because it doesn't make any sense. My payments are going to go a lot higher. I don't want to have a higher payment. Now I might just take some money out of the home to put back into the home and make it to the way I want.
I mean,
and that's a pretty big challenge.
It is.
And I'll tell you that cash out refis is really the only thing we're doing for me.
Yeah.
Because you got the rate and term still, but it's very far and few between because the rates are so much higher than what they were last year, even a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I think a year and a half, it's been pretty low. So what are you going to replace it with the same rate? So people are pulling money out of their home, paying off cars. I got somebody paying off houses, right? They got a couple small houses, investment properties, paying that off. The equity in the property is repositioning. Now, the question is like, how far are you in on the loan? Does it make sense? So it doesn't mean that everybody should do that. Yeah. It just means you got to look at your situation and go, am I replacing? Because you're going to be back in that loan 30 years. Do you want to replace it with a 15-year loan, 20-year loan? Replace some of that, you might have that, interest for those, year 28 to year 20. Let's say you're reducing 8 years of interest. That might make sense. You might be those people that are just say, hey, man, I just want to take advantage of rates. May never be here again. Let's do 15 years. So I am seeing a lot of people pull out cash.
So now by pulling out cash, right, the question is, let's say like this lady, if she did pull out cash, is it wise to put down 10% or 20% or just even 5% in today's market?
What do you mean put it down?
Well, what I'm saying is, let's say you have a house. You sell this house because you want to go buy another house. You're sitting on like $150,000 liquid at this point. You want to buy a house. The question that I have for the both of you is that, should I put a big chunk down, 20%, so that I don't have that mortgage insurance premium? Or should I just eat that mortgage insurance premium and only put down, 5%?
I think it comes down, what are you going to do with the rest of the money?
I mean, should you go house broke and dump everything back into the house so that way you have a cheaper payment, or
I think
put 5% down and hold on to another, $100,000?
I think cash is king. What I would probably do is, it depends on where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
If I'm at the later stages of my life, probably putting down the 20%, have a low payment, hold on to the rest. If I'm at a younger stage, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm Chakits, out there killing it, doing my deal.
Man, y'all need to stop gassing me up.
Come on, man. You're doing your deal, bro. He's out there, this CKG.
Buying properties over here, buying 2 condos, flips.
But the thing, what I would do is I would probably diversify and then put as much is less, because you don't know, the market could go the other direction.
Yeah.
Right. So put the least amount down and then use that money and put it into another business, put it into another property, because you got to take a risk. And I think at a younger age, it's good to take a risk.
Yeah. I agree with you. I would keep the money on hand.
Yeah.
You can't get it back.
No. And the reason
you could, but not, it's hard.
And the reason why, guys, I'm asking this question, right, is because I want you guys to really, listen to the show and really watch it and not listen to what we're telling you to do, but I want you to think, right? Because that's the problem in today's society, right? A lot of people are book smart, but they're not financially smart. But at the end of the day, I want you to think about your situation, because you got to see where you currently stand in life, because sometimes it may be worth it to buy. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you got to rent. So there's really not an answer, right? So that's why you have to take a look at the whole picture. And that's the reason why I'm asking these questions, because I really want you to think about this, right? Because only you guys can make that decision. Any final thoughts, guys?
Only you.
Love you too. So the question, Dan, what did we learn today, guys?
We learned that VA buyers need to buy a home and use me, and I will help you, and Joey's going to get them into a deal.
Got it. What about you, Joey?
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up. If you're in the market, hang tight. Hang tight. Just keep plugging away. We will get you that house. If you're working with us, we will get you that house.
So today, what we learned is, if you are a buyer out there and you guys are struggling getting your offer accepted, I think you need to start back from ground zero. It's like building a house. Look at the foundation. You need to speak to your lender. It starts off with the financing. What type of loan do you have? Pre-qual, pre-approval, conditional approval, underwritten approval. We know that you definitely need a conditional approval. That makes you a strong buyer, that lets the listing agent and the seller know where you currently stand. When submitting an offer, you should always submit an offer with your bank statement, cross out the account number, so that way they know exactly that you got money to come into the table. You are a real player. Number 3, you also need to have your lender contact that listing agent once your offer has been submitted. Number 4, it's all about how you write the contract. That's right. It's all about how to write the contract. And only way to write up a clean contract is your agent has to be in the field for a very long time, so that way they know exactly what is going on in today's market. Final, right? The final thing, this is important. You got to get the right agent. You got to get somebody that's going to be very aggressive, that's going to go up to bat with you. They got to be very creative on how to write up the offers, how to find deals. That's right. If you guys like this content, let us know in the comments below. Other than that, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Other than that, till next time.